What color are your fucking eyes?
I'm going to make this work. Hey, hi, hello, my name is Lo. Welcome to my channel if you are new here, or welcome back if you are not. Welcome to the finale of our second book in this long-distance digital two-man book club. The Wasp Factory is finally over. I think I can confidently say that Macayla and I are very happy to be done with this book. There were parts of it that we really enjoyed, but the parts that we didn't enjoy kind of outweighed the good parts, unfortunately. This is our last week, and there is the live reading of the last chapter as well, which I hope you guys enjoy both, and I will catch you guys at the end of the video. Welcome to week 4, aka the final week of the Wasp Factory. It is... what day is it? It is Saturday, November 15th at 7:30 p.m. I've been home back in Oregon for about an hour. That right there is my personal item. My carry-on is still packed over there because once I unpack it, I'll be forced to deal with the laundry that I already need to do. Here is said laundry. And everything in my suitcase except for like a pair of socks and 2 shirts is dirty. But that's gonna be a tomorrow issue. The point of that being, I haven't been home very long, I'm exhausted, and I haven't done any reading yet. So the goal of this week was to read chapters 9, 10, and 11, and then do our recorded live reading of the finale, which is chapter 12, and it's only 4 pages long. So that kind of leaves Macayla and I's week 4 reading to be around 35 pages, maybe. We're gonna see how much I read tonight, because as you saw in the last video, the book is getting good. It's picking up speed, and since there's not a lot of pages left, it means there's a lot of answers we're gonna be getting in not a lot of time, which typically quickens up the pace of a book. And chapter 9 is called What Happened to Eric, which I am very intrigued about. Macayla did this reading like 4 days ago, and she's been yelling at me to do it ever since, so we can talk about it. And I didn't. Sorry, Macayla. I'm tired. She's actually probably way more tired than me. She's 2 jobs and she's a student, and I just have insomnia. So it's like different types of tired. Anyways, I'm gonna like get all cozy in some pajamas. I'm gonna see how far I read tonight before I tap out and want to watch The Pit. So I'll update you guys whenever I decide to stop. Okay, update. I read to page 148, which is a few like 2 pages into chapter 10. So I read chapter 9 and like 2 pages of chapter 10. It's been 20 minutes. So that's actually not that long. I thought I was reading for a lot longer than that. But I can feel that my attention span is going because I'm tired and I don't want to miss anything now that we're this close to the end. So I'm going to call it here, and then I'm going to finish up reading tomorrow because that's when Mac and I are supposed to do our big finale phone call. So I will see you guys then. No, why do I have a pimple? So much for being home. It's like 10:30 a.m. I just slept so hard for so long. But I didn't truly fall asleep until like 11 maybe. And I woke up a few different times. But all in all, I slept pretty good. I'm still pretty tired. But I have to get up. So. Nothing says welcome back to the farm like lots and lots of fog. Am I right? You guys get it, right? That was me actively looking for a trash can that's not in here. I think that it still smells good though. If you're wondering what all of that was about, I wanted to make coffee and my mom got these like 2 shots from Dutch Bros, but she got them before I left for Montana. And I was like, hey mommy, are these still good? And she was like, no, they're not. And so I was throwing them away and I popped one of the lids open and I was like, oh, so she was definitely right. But they still smell good and like chocolatey. So now I have to drink my dad's coffee. Okay, it is now like 4 o'clock maybe. I still haven't gotten to my reading, but if you couldn't tell by like the fit, I just finished filming the 2nd installment of my fanfiction series and I'm gonna sit down and try to do some reading because I don't know when Macayla and I are supposed to be calling, but it would be like 6:30 her time right now. But we have called as late as like 9:30 her time, so we'll just have to see. So, Mac and I have been texting and I finished the reading, and so we're trying to see when we're going to call, which is hopefully really soon. But I decided to jump on here to give you guys a recap of chapters 9, 10, and 11 before Mac and I fully jump in to our live finale reading of chapter 12. I did this with Not Quite Dead Yet, and I really like this layout where all of the weeks leading up to the final week have FaceTime calls of me and Mac discussing, except for the final week where we just focus on the last chapter. So I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of everything that happens. Chapter 9 is called What Happened to Eric, and it starts off with like a bunch of willy-nilly, you know, Frank does this, Frank does that. But then we get into, you know, Eric's backstory. And it starts with Frank saying, you know, Eric came and went a lot throughout his childhood. Frank talks about how he would get really excited and really joyful whenever Eric would come home for like summer vacation and Christmas and holidays and stuff, because they really got along well. They would fly kites, they would go to the beach, but then the final time Eric leaves is to go to university to study to become a doctor. And that is when Frank realizes that Eric is getting older, and there is this kind of riff that is happening between them, but he still really, really enjoys when Eric gets to come home. Then we start getting into the incident, as Frank says. So during one of Eric's years of university, he is volunteering at a teaching hospital to work in what I assume is the NICU. He's volunteering at the hospital, taking care of babies. He's stressed with schoolwork and he's not coming home, and he just went through his first heartbreak. And he's been getting really, really bad migraine attacks. So all of this is happening at once, but he's still deciding to do night shift and taking care of the babies. And there is this one particular baby that can't really move, can't speak, can't do much because of the way it was born. And Eric is going to it. He notices that, you know, the baby's not really squirming as much, not making any noise. So he's checking in, and the baby is wearing a steel cap. And Eric senses something is wrong, so he peeks under the cap, and he sees crawling around on the baby's head, which has also made a massive wound, and they are unfortunately getting upwards towards the baby's brain. And this happened because flies have somehow gotten into the ward and started to lay eggs. And this was so traumatic for Eric that the first thing he does, because he has a spoon in his hand for whatever reason, he tries to try to help the baby, but then the baby starts to smile at him, and he drops the baby, and he like goes to the corner and he's screaming and he can't even be contained. After this incident, he is sent away from classes to like take a break. Things start to continue to go wrong. He's drinking to cope with everything. He's being rude. He's starting fights at bars. He can't be around children or else he'll just harass them. And finally, it escalates all the way to him setting dogs on fire, which is the Eric that the readers know. And that's the main part of that chapter. The rest of it is just like Frank doing stuff on the island. Chapter 10 is called Running Dog. A lot of this chapter I struggled to read. It was a lot of details. A lot of this chapter is Frank running around the island, but around halfway through the chapter, while he's paroling the island, Frank hears a howl sound, and he goes to investigate, and he unfortunately finds a small fire that he puts out, and then he follows the noise to a stream where he finds a dog that has been burnt but is still alive, and he's in the stream to like cool himself off and try to feel good. And Frank does put the dog out of his misery, and he buries the dog afterwards. And then Frank gets another phone call from Eric. It's still kind of a lot of what's going on vibes, like all of the phone calls have been. And he's just kind of like spiraling.
He's like, how are you? How's it going? Are you doing this and this and this? Are you doing this? How are you?
And it's like he's not giving Frank any room to speak until he finally puts his foot down and he says, Eric, the dog, I saw the dog today, the one down by the house, you can't be doing this. And Eric is playing dumb. He's like, what dog? Frank gets so upset that he hangs up. And that's pretty much all of chapter 10. And that was the only important part. Chapter 11 is called The Prodigal. This one's really weird. I will be so honest. So it kind of starts the same as the other two chapters, where he wakes up, he packs a bag, he goes to the island, he's looking and stuff. After doing some nighttime maintenance, Frank comes back into the house and he sees that a whiskey glass has been left out unattended to, and he saw his father leaving down the trail to go to town. And he's like, this is weird, my father doesn't normally just leave a mess. And so he like kind of thinks about it for a little bit, and his conclusion is that maybe his dad is driving downtown to go to the police station, or maybe it has something to do with Eric, but he just waits and sees. And then he is woken up by a phone call from his very drunken father, and he says, Frank, they caught Eric. Come meet me at the library. And he's like, the fuck? Okay. And as he's about ready to go meet his father at the library, he sees that the telephone wire outside of his home is cut. And he's like, what the hell? And he goes closer, and then he sees an ear covered in fur, still bleeding, there. Which means one thing. Eric has not been caught. And he says, oh my God, like that lying bastard, talking about his father, and he goes back home. He's not going to go meet his dad. He goes to sleep again, and he is woken up by someone in the house. It's his dad, stumbling his way into the house. And he waits for his dad to calm down before, like, trying to sneak out with his bag to go patrol, probably looking for Eric, when he kicks around, accidentally, a bunch of keys. And on that key ring is the key to the study. His dad's study that's always locked, and Frank has never stepped foot inside of it. He runs upstairs, makes sure his dad's sleeping, and opens the study. He's looking around, but what he sees sitting in a jar is... So you remember Frank's little accident where the dog and his dad went and like scooped him up? Yeah, they're in a jar in the study, and they have been for 13 years. This causes Frank to kind of lose control. He cries and cries, and he can't handle it looking at this jar and feeling all of these emotions. But finally he calms down. He's like, okay, I'm gonna see if anything else is in this study. Like, why else is this room locked? And as he's looking, he finds a box, and he opens the box, and he pulls out a box of tampons, and there is also a vial of male hormones with some other things in there, but those were the main two things that Frank finds. And he doesn't know what to think of these. His mind is racing, and so he takes the tampons and he takes the hormones and he barges into his father's room while he's sleeping. He takes a knife and he threatens his father, and he says, what are these? You're gonna tell me what these are right now. And in his head, his father is like trans. He thinks that his father was born a woman and is now posing as a man, because Frank is he hates women. And his dad says, what are you doing, Frankie? I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. It was an experiment. But not his experiment, because his father has male genitalia. But before we can get any further into that, something on fire runs past the window. It's a sheep, followed by more sheep and a bunch of other animals. And then finally, Eric. An axe in one hand and a torch in the other hand. And he's just going crazy. He goes to the cellar door. He's chopping it open. A bunch of bombs are set off because the house just has explosives for whatever fucking reason. And this whole huge chaos goes on. And Frank's like, Eric, no, like, don't do this. And it's just like total craziness. And as all the bombs are going off and like Frank ducks for cover, when he gets back up, he sees that Eric is no longer there. He's gone. The fires are put out. The cellar door is kind of put back on. And Frank goes back inside to his dad. And he's like, okay, it's over, but he's gone. He says, I can't tell you where he went, but I'd like you to sit down and tell me a few things. And it starts with the specimen jar. He's like, you're going to tell me about that. And his father goes to grab the jar, drops it, picks up what was inside of it, and it was a pink ball, like a lump of wax. And that's where the chapter ends. So that's where chapter 12 is going to pick up. That's the recap. It is not as short as I was thinking it was going to be. Yay! Bye!
Let me know when you're ready.
I had to get it recording. And you were so fast last time. You beat me by like 8 minutes.
How fast is Macayla gonna read it this time?
I don't know. I'll do the math. And it's probably gonna be Macayla's gonna be so fast and Chloe's gonna be so slow.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
What was that face for?
What? This is so unnecessary.
I
right
know! That's what I was gonna say. Why are you laughing? Shut up!
First, please make some noise. Give me a sign. This can't be life if there's a point.
Ha! Sorry. Everything you just told me? Oh my, your theory was right. Sorry, we didn't record it.
Losing love, repeating pain. It's so the same. I hate this place. Stuck in this paradigm. Don't be.
You done?
Yeah.
Leave in paradise. This must be what hell is like. This got to be more. Got to be more. Sick of this head of mine. Intrusive thoughts.
What the fuck? Sorry. I'm not done. I just came across the most stupid line to ever slip in ever.
Read it out loud. Read it out loud.
Talk about penis envy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what you're gonna say. It took everybody, bone of my body, not to go like, and keep it silent for you.
Paralyzed, no fun is not. It's appetite. There's got to be more. Been here before. Life's better on Saturn. Got to.
What the fuck is that ending line?
Thank you. That's why I'm laughing over here. That was the stupidest fucking ending I've ever read in a whole fucking book.
Okay, viewers at
Genuinely.
home, this is the last line of the book that's been so dense and so heavy with detail. This is the last line. Poor Eric came home to see his brother only to find, parentheses, zap, pow, dams burst, bombs go off, wasps fry, tss. He's got a sister. Excuse me. What?
What the fuck was that? That was the worst chapter I've ever read. That was so unfulfilling.
Yeah. Okay, well, obviously, the first time I was like, was, I'm not Francis Leslie, I'm Francis Leslie, but, like, spelt femininely.
That's when I laughed out loud.
Oh, when old Sal savaged me, my father saw it as an ideal opportunity for a little experiment and a way of lessening, perhaps removing entirely, the influence of the female around him as I grew up. So I'm like, so he did get attacked by the dog. Frank was stillborn a girl?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wonder if the dog, like, attacked his more, like, inner thigh.
Because it said
You know?
scarred inner thighs and then, like, a slightly,
Yeah. So his dad hates women, too. It runs in the family.
Angus's experiment was to take his daughter and just make her into a boy.
Uh-huh.
Well, is it because he knew that Agnes was pregnant with a girl?
I think he was, I don't know. I wonder if it was, like, his own, like, other kind of experiment with Eric. Not, like, a physical, but more, like, a psychological one.
Do you think that's why the two kids are trauma bonded, but they just didn't know why they attached so hard?
Probably.
Was because did you see how calm Eric was when he realized it was just Frank? And then, like, nestled into Frank's lap and they just laid like that, like nothing ever happened? Look something up.
Okay.
Because you know that trigger warning? And how it never came into play?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck did I read?
Oh, I can make our book thing.
Yes.
I'll do that right now.
Hey, don't mind this pillow. If it's not right here, the lighting looks like that. So we're gonna have the pillow wall. So basically what Mac and I wanted to do to figure out what our next book club book was going to be was do a raffle. And we each pick 3 books to put in the raffle. So we had categories. We each were going to pick a book that was like a mystery thriller, a banned book, or like a book you could find on a common banned book list, and then a wild card. So my 3 books were The Troop by Nick Cutter, Hidden Pictures, and Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. And then Macayla also picked 3 books. And the point of this was going to be putting all of the books into like a little bowl and then slowly picking out which books we weren't going to read until we finally landed on the last book, which was going to be the book we were going to read. However, secretly deep down inside, both of us wanted to read The Troop. Like, we really wanted to read The Troop. And as you'll see after this clip, The Troop isn't what we end up with, technically. It's weird. You'll see. I just wanted to explain exactly what we were supposed to be doing.
I was gonna say if we pick a book we don't want to read, I'd rather read one of the other books that we already have picked out.
Okay. You know what? It makes me wonder, because we, like, the same time we were looking up these videos was the same night we sat down and planned out our picks.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me wonder if I'm, like, mixing a trigger warning up from a different book with this one.
Oh.
Because we were, like, searching through lists.
Mm-hmm. That could have happened, yeah. I don't know, maybe. I see you dancing up there. I hope you know that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ready? Okay.
I'm nervous!
Me too. The first book we're not reading is Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson.
That was my banned book one.
Chloe's banned book is out. The next book that we're not reading is Hidden Pictures by Jason something.
Oh shit!
Chloe's other
That one sounded so good! If this is my last pick, I'm gonna be so depressed.
The next book we're not reading is...
No. Don't say it.
The Troop.
No! That's not fair! How do I have such bad luck?
I wish. I'm mad about The Troop. God fucking damn it.
That was the one I was
I don't
hoping
even want to
for.
pick anymore.
I was hoping for The Troop.
Okay, here's my proposition. The one I forgot to mention.
Okay.
If we don't like the final pick, we're gonna read The Troop.
Okay.
Fair?
Okay.
The next book we're not gonna read is Butter. Damn! What a bummer.
Oh no!
I don't want to read Brave New World right now. I don't want to read dystopian about females becoming breeding things. I don't want to read that.
No, in this economy?
The next book we're not gonna read. Brave New World.
I mean, oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! The book we're gonna read. The Troop. It got back in the book.
Oh my god! Who would have thought?
Oh, we're so stupid. No, that's it. That's fine with me. I was hoping I was going to actually scratch the idea of actually doing this before I got on the phone with you. I was like, maybe we should just read the Troop.
It was fun to do once.
Shall I read the synopsis?
Yes.
Okay. This is our next totally randomized pick for book club. Totally random. It's called The Troop.
Woo!
Once a year, Scoutmaster Tim Riggs leads a troop of boys into the Canadian wilderness for a weekend camping trip. A tradition as comforting and reliable as a good ghost story around a roaring bonfire. But when an unexpected intruder stumbles upon their campsite, shockingly thin, disturbingly pale, and voraciously hungry, Tim and the boys are exposed to something far more frightening than any tale of terror. The human carrier of a bioengineered nightmare, a horror that spreads faster than fear, a harrowing struggle for survival with no escape from the elements, the infected, or one another.
Like that this is like supernatural as well as just dark and spooky.
Me too.
Because it is giving Lord of the Flies with Slender Man.
You know what's funny about that?
What?
When you open the book, like the authors that do quotes from other books at the beginning of it?
Yeah.
He has two. And the second one is This Head is for the Beast. It's a gift. William Golding, Lord of the Flies.
Hell yeah.
So it looks like there's going to be parts to this book. So part one's The Hungry Man.
Oh.
There is no chapter index.
Oh.
I
Whatever
know.
happened to the table of contents?
I know, right? Where'd that go?
Where to go?
3 options.
Okay.
Chapter 8 starts on 45.
Okay.
Chapter 9 starts on 52.
Okay.
Chapter 10 starts on 60. If it's giving you an inkling for how long the chapters are, the chapter's like 8 pages.
Alright, let's just do chapter 10.
Chapter 10? Okay. Chapter... Oh, a new book!
I'm using that as the intro clip for the first week of the Troop. Oh, new book! We're defeated after finishing the Wasp Factory. During week 1, you were already ready to crash out.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are excited. Sorry, a plane is flying by. I can literally see it too. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are enjoying the book club content, and I hope you guys are excited that we are totally by chance random reading The Troop for our next book. I'm super excited, Macayla's very excited, and yeah, I hope you guys are excited to see upcoming content about that. Shoutouts of this video, of course, go to Macayla. She always gets a shout out in the book club videos. Shout out to all the other YouTubers who made content on the Wasp Factory. I did watch a few videos just to make sure Macayla and I weren't forgetting about anything. Just making sure we didn't leave anything out. And of course, shout out to Corpse Husband. But with that said, I think that wraps it up for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.
Okay, do it.
Woo!
I wasn't recording. But thank you for that sound bite, because I'll need it for editing.
Drinking all this coffee. These last few weeks have been exhausting. I'm lost in my imagination, and there's one thing that I need from you.